We currently live in a world that constantly rejects the notion of truth. It insists that everything is subjective and a matter of opinion. But if you think about that for more than 5 seconds, it doesn't make a ton of sense, does it? If someone says that there is no objective truth, you can wonder, is that an objective truth? They are contradicting themselves by saying that the fact that there are no objective truths is an objective truth. It would be like me saying that I don't know a word in English, but I'm contradicting myself in saying that. Regardless of that, an example people often use to argue that truth is relative is this elephant. There's a bunch of blind men touching different parts of the elephant, so they each get a different idea of what the elephant is. One says it is a spear, another says it's a tree, and so forth. Now that's their perspective, yes, with the limited amount of knowledge they have, but that doesn't make it true. We can clearly see that they're wrong by thinking that the elephant is anything else than the elephant. In fact, we can only know they're wrong because we have the real perspective outside of the scene to know that it is indeed an elephant. So there may be different perspectives of the truth that are mistaken, but the truth will always be just one. And maybe we will never know the truth in some things, but the truth exists regardless of our knowledge of it. It is transcendent. For example, when people believed that the earth was flat, and some still do, was the earth flat or was it a sphere? It was still a sphere because truth is not dependent on humans. We humans get to know the truth, but we don't invent the truth. Newton didn't invent gravity when he perceived it, he just discovered it. We also can't change the truth based on our own subjective opinions about it. For example, if we know that smoking cigarettes causes lung cancer, my opinion can control whether that is true or not by saying something like that actually smoking improves your health. I mean, you could say that, but it doesn't make it true. The truth is that it is bad for your health. This is important when having a discussion, because when we discuss, we are looking for an objective truth and see who is right on the matter. We could discuss about a subjective matter like how I don't like the taste of cigarettes and someone else does, but that won't get us anywhere. That's subjective and there's no purpose in talking about that when each one has their own taste. But we can discuss the objective truth of whether smoking is bad for your health or not, and show the evidence one way or another. And if I'm smoking having the wrong idea in my head that it is good for me, I would sincerely hope that you tell me that I'm wrong, because I am. All of this seems obvious, but we live in a world that constantly rejects this basic principle of reality. Like how people insist that everyone has their own truth and each one is equally true. This can be seen in religions or worldviews. There's a bunch of people that have different beliefs, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, atheism, Islam, or else. But only one of them can be true, because they all contradict themselves in the claims they make about the objective truth and nature of reality. So, these aren't a matter of opinion. These are claims that need to be tested and provided evidence for. No matter what anyone thinks or what opinion they have, they can't make something true if it's not, or keep it from being true if it is. Now, it's important to note that we always have to respect people, no matter what they think or what their perspective of reality is. Everyone is free to have their own beliefs, but that doesn't mean that we have to think of all of them as true. Instead, we need to work together to get to the absolute truth of the world, because there only is one. And that truth is what's most important in life and what will get us what we need. But why does this matter? Truth allows us to better understand the world around us, to make better choices, and to live meaningful lives. If you think about it, lies corrupt everything. You could only have a meaningful relationship with someone if you're living it truthfully. If it is based on lies, everything collapses. The same goes with our relationship with reality. This is what enables us to know what we need, what is good for us, what is bad for us, and what is our purpose in life as humans. The truth sets us free. Well, now we know that truth exists, but how do we get to know truth? We'll check that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.